The beast has fallen. And I'm not talking about a normal loss. I'm talking about the kind of destruction that sends shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. Brock Lesnar, the man who has bulldozed through legends, the conqueror who made grown men tremble, the absolute monster who redefined what it means to be unstoppable, just got dismantled by two rising forces in a way that nobody saw coming. This isn't just another match. This is the moment everything changed. This is the night the throne got shattered. What you're about to witness is not for the faint of heart. Before we dive into this carnage, I need you to do something for me. If you love this sport, if you bleed wrestling like I do, hit that subscribe button right now. Join the Slamzone family because we're building something special here. We're creating a community of true wrestling fanatics who live for these moments. And trust me, after you see what happened to Lesnar, you're going to want to be here for every single breakdown, every shocking moment, every legendary battle we cover. So smash that notification bell, leave a comment telling me what you think is going to happen, and let's experience this together. Because what I'm about to show you will have you on the edge of your seat until the very last second. Now let's get into it. The atmosphere in that arena was electric. You could cut the tension with a knife. The crowd knew something big was coming. You could feel it in the air, the crackling energy that only exists when history is about to be written. And then the music hits. Brock Lesnar's music. The place erupts. Love him or hate him, when that beast walks down the ramp, you can't take your eyes off him. He's moving with that signature swagger, that confidence that comes from years of dominance, from knowing he's the biggest, baddest man in any room he enters. But here's where things get interesting. Here's where you start to feel that something is different tonight. Because Lesnar isn't just facing one opponent. He's standing across the ring from two absolute monsters in their own right. Bronson Reed, that 300-pound wrecking ball from Australia, and Bron Breakker, the second-generation powerhouse with Olympic bloodlines running through his veins. These aren't just any competitors. These are two of the most dangerous rising stars in professional wrestling today. The bell rings. And for a moment, just a brief moment, there's silence. That beautiful, terrifying silence before chaos erupts. Lesnar is sizing them up. Reed and Breakker are locked in, focused, ready to make a statement. And then it begins. Lesnar charges forward like a freight train. He goes straight for Bronson Reed with a massive clothesline attempt, but Reed doesn't budge. Think about that for a second. Brock Lesnar, the same man who has tossed around giants like they were children, just hit Bronson Reed with everything he had, and Reed barely moved an inch. The crowd gasps. You can hear the collective shock rippling through thousands of people. This isn't how this is supposed to go. Before Lesnar can process what just happened, Bron Breakker comes flying in from the side with a thunderous shoulder tackle that actually staggers the beast. Actually staggers him. The crowd is going absolutely insane now. They're witnessing something they never thought they'd see. These two powerhouses are actually matching Lesnar's strength, blow for blow, strike for strike. Lesnar recovers quickly because that's what he does. That's what decades of combat training teaches you. He fires back with a knee to Breakker's gut, doubling him over, and then he grabs Reed for a German suplex. Here we go, right? Classic Lesnar. He's about to launch Reed across the ring like he's done to so many others, but Reed blocks it. He plants his feet, throws an elbow back into Lesnar's ribs, and breaks the grip. The look on Lesnar's face says everything. This is not going according to plan. Now Breakker is back up, and these two start working together like a well-oiled machine. Reed hits Lesnar with a massive headbutt that echoes through the arena. Breakker follows up with a running power slam that shakes the entire ring. The crowd is on their feet. Parents are covering their children's eyes. This is brutal. This is visceral. This is the kind of physical storytelling that makes wrestling the greatest sport on earth. But we all know Brock Lesnar doesn't stay down easy. The man has survived wars with the best who ever do it. He's been in the UFC octagon. He's conquered WrestleMania. He's taken everything the wrestling world has thrown at him and laughed in its face. So when he gets back to his feet, there's fire in his eyes. There's that primal rage that has made him a legend. Lesnar starts throwing those signature German suplexes. One to Breakker. One to Reed. Back to Breakker. The crowd is counting along. 3, 4, 5. The beast is in his element now, tossing these massive human beings around like ragdolls. For a moment, just a fleeting moment, it looks like normal service has resumed. Like the natural order is being restored. But here's where the story takes a turn that nobody predicted. Here's where your heart starts to race because you realize this match is far from over. Reed and Breakker, despite being suplexed repeatedly, despite the punishment they're absorbing, they're not staying down. They're crawling toward each other. They're regrouping. And the look in their eyes says they came here for one reason and one reason only, to make history. Lesnar is stalking them now, that predatory grin on his face. He's feeding off the crowd, feeling that familiar rush of dominance. He pulls Breakker up for the F5. This is it, right? The most devastating finisher in modern wrestling. The move that has ended countless careers and championship reigns. The crowd holds its collective breath. But as Lesnar lifts Breakker onto his shoulders, Reed comes crashing in with a devastating big boot that catches Lesnar right in the face. The impact is sickening. Lesnar drops Breakker and stumbles backward. And this is where everything accelerates. This is where two rising stars see their opportunity and they seize it with both hands. Reed bounces off the ropes and comes back with a massive tsunami splash in the corner, crushing Lesnar against the turnbuckles. Before Lesnar can even think about recovering, Breakker is there, grabbing him and delivering a picture-perfect powerslam that plants the Beast right in the center of the ring. The referee is in position. The count begins. 1. The arena is deafening. 2. People are screaming, cameras are flashing. But somehow, at 2.5, Lesnar gets his shoulder up. The resilience. The heart. This is why he's a legend. This is why they call him the Beast. Midpoint reminder, hold on, I need you to pause with me for just a second because what's about to happen next is absolutely insane. But before we get there, if you're enjoying this breakdown, if you're feeling that adrenaline pumping through your veins right now, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this video to more wrestling fans just like you. Subscribe to Slamzone because we're bringing you these intense, emotional breakdowns every single week. We're building a family here, and I want you to be part of it. Comment below and tell me, did you think Lesnar could lose this match? I want to hear your thoughts. Now, let's get back to this absolute war. Reed and Breakker are looking at each other in disbelief. They just hit Lesnar with everything, and he kicked out. But instead of being discouraged, you can see the determination growing in their eyes. They're not backing down. They're not intimidated. If anything, they're more motivated than ever. The match continues and the pace is relentless. Lesnar is fighting with everything he has. Every ounce of experience, every bit of that legendary conditioning. He hits Reed with an F5 out of nowhere. Reed rolls out of the ring from the impact. Now it's one-on-one with Breakker. The crowd is absolutely losing their minds because this is the matchup everyone wanted to see. The old guard versus the new generation. The Beast versus the Breakker. These two behemoths are trading shots in the middle of the ring. Forearms, punches, knees. Neither man is giving an inch. The crowd is chanting, the energy is absolutely electric, and you can feel that we're building towards something monumental. Lesnar grabs Breakker for another F5, but Breakker slides out, lands on his feet, and hits Lesnar with a spear that would make Goldberg proud. The impact is incredible. Lesnar is down. Breakker goes for the cover. 1, 2, and Lesnar kicks out again. But here's the thing about handicap matches against someone like Brock Lesnar. You can't give him time to recover. You can't give him space to breathe. And unfortunately for Lesnar, while he's focused on Breakker, Bronson Reed has made it back into the ring. And Reed is climbing. Oh no. Reed is climbing to the top rope. 300 pounds of Bronson Reed is perched on the top turnbuckle. The crowd realizes what's about to happen and they're screaming warnings, screaming in anticipation, screaming because they know they're about to witness something that will be replayed for years to come. Lesnar is slowly getting to his feet, using the ropes to pull himself up. He turns around, and Reed launches himself off the top rope. Time seems to slow down. This massive human being is flying through the air, and he connects with the most devastating tsunami splash you will ever see in your life. The impact when Reed lands on Lesnar is absolutely crushing. The ring shakes. The sound reverberates through the entire arena. Lesnar's body folds like an accordion under the weight and force of that move. But Reed isn't done. He's not taking any chances. He immediately rolls out of the way, and Breakker is already in position. Breakker pulls Lesnar up with the last bit of energy he has left, lifts him onto his shoulders, and delivers a spear that looks like it could split a man in half. The combination is devastating. The most powerful splash in wrestling followed immediately by one of the most explosive spears you'll ever witness. Breakker hooks the leg. The referee slides into position. The entire world holds its breath. 1. The count echoes through the arena. 2. People are standing, hands on their heads in disbelief. 3. The bell rings. And just like that, the impossible has happened. The crowd erupts in a mixture of shock, awe, and disbelief. The referee raises Reed and Breakker's hands in victory while Brock Lesnar lies motionless in the center of the ring. This isn't just a win. This is a statement. This is two rising stars announcing to the entire wrestling world that they have arrived, and they did it by taking down the most dominant force the industry has ever seen. The emotion in the arena is overwhelming. You can see it on the faces of the fans. Some are celebrating the rise of new stars. Others are in genuine shock that the Beast was actually conquered. Reed and Breakker are standing tall, but even they seem to be processing the magnitude of what they just accomplished. They just defeated Brock Lesnar. They just did what seemed absolutely impossible just hours ago. And Lesnar, slowly, painfully, starts to move. He's rolling to the outside of the ring, holding his ribs, that look of disbelief etched across his face. For the first time in years, maybe decades, you can see vulnerability in the Beast's eyes. He just experienced something he's not accustomed to: complete and total defeat at the hands of two hungrier, possibly even more vicious competitors. This match represents so much more than just a win and a loss. This is the passing of the torch. This is the moment when the old guard realizes that time is undefeated, that no matter how dominant you are, no matter how legendary your career has been, there will always be young lions ready to take your spot at the top. Reed and Breakker didn't just win a match tonight. They announced their arrival as main event players. They showed the entire roster that they're not here to pay dues or wait their turn. They're here to conquer. The beauty of professional wrestling is moments like this. The storytelling, the emotion, the physicality, the way it makes you feel something real even though you know it's predetermined. What Reed and Breakker did to Lesnar wasn't just physically devastating, it was emotionally crushing for everyone who has watched Lesnar dominate for years. And that's what makes this sport so incredible. That's what keeps us coming back week after week, show after show. As Reed and Breakker walk up the ramp, arms raised in victory, you have to wonder what this means for the future. Where does Brock Lesnar go from here? How does the Beast respond to being beaten so decisively? And more importantly, what are Reed and Breakker going to do with this momentum? They just slayed the biggest dragon in wrestling. Who's next? Who's brave enough to step in front of these two absolute machines now that they've proven they can work together to take down anyone? Before we wrap this up, I need you to do something for me one more time. If this breakdown gave you chills, if it made you feel something, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Slamzone and become part of this incredible community we're building. Share this video with your wrestling friends because they need to see this breakdown. Leave a comment and tell me who should face Reed and Breakker next. What do you think Lesnar's next move is? I read every single comment and I love hearing your thoughts. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video because we're bringing you the most intense wrestling content every single week. This was a historic night. This was the night two monsters proved they belong at the very top of this industry. This was the night the Beast fell, and we were all here to witness it together. Thank you for watching, thank you for being part of the Slamzone family, and I'll see you in the next video where we break down more incredible moments from the world of professional wrestling. Until then, keep the passion alive, keep supporting this amazing sport, and remember, in wrestling, anything can happen, and usually does.